Imagine walking into Walmart tomorrow and seeing a sign that says out of business. Sounds crazy, right? But it happened to other grocery stores before. They start strong, then suddenly can't keep up with the competition until they disappear. In this video, we'll check out 10 forgotten grocery stores we miss from the past. If you're an oldie, get ready to feel all the nostalgic vibes. Number 10. A&P. For over 4 decades, the great A&P was the biggest retailer in the world. At its peak, it had over 16,000 grocery stores in 3,800 communities, including dozens of warehouses and factories. A&P was so successful that competitors wanted to bring it down. But why was it so popular? It offered discounted prices that made shopping from them a no-brainer. This led to higher sales. Of course, other grocery stores were unhappy. They dragged A&P to court, and in 1946, the U.S. Department of Justice convicted the company of illegal restraint of trade for selling food too cheaply.
What?
But A&P didn't back down. It stayed strong until the 2000s, when things took a turn for the worse. After more than 100 years, A&P started to struggle. It can no longer keep up with cheaper stores like Whole Foods and Walmart. They declared bankruptcy in 2010 with $2.5 billion in assets and $3.2 billion in debt. They tried to make a comeback 2 years later, but it didn't last. In 2015, A&P declared bankruptcy for the last time and shut down all of its locations. Who doesn't miss the good old days of grabbing groceries from their local A&P? Number 9. White Hand Pantry. Once upon a time, White Hand Pantry was a go-to spot for Americans. This Illinois-based chain had about 261 convenience stores spread across Detroit, New Hampshire, Boston, southern Wisconsin, central Illinois, and northern Indiana. These stores offered everything from cappuccinos and coffees to toiletries, salads, boxed sandwiches, cheese, veggies, fresh fruits, and lots more. They even had ATMs and sold lottery tickets. The first White Hand Pantry location opened in 1965 and was originally called Quick Shop. A few months later, it was renamed after the owner's egg supplier's farm. Americans loved the store so much and couldn't do without it. But in 1984, American stores bought it, and by 2001, it was sold to Clark Retail Enterprises. The new owners quickly sold off all 55 stores in Massachusetts and New Hampshire to New England Pantry Inc. This grocery store saw many changes over the years, but today, you won't find a single one left in America. Number 8. Food Fair. Did you know that there was a time Food Fair was the king of supermarkets? It all started in the 1920s when Samuel Friedland and his brother George opened their first supermarket. It was such a hit that they expanded under the brand name Food Fair. By 1961, Food Fair bought J.M. Field's department stores and Pantry Pride. As the 1970s rolled in, most of Food Fair stores were converted to Pantry Pride, making them even more popular. They continued beyond just groceries. They expanded into drugs, gasoline, and shoes too. But like every great story, Food Fair's tale had to end. Financial troubles hit the company in 1978, forcing it to announce bankruptcy. Shortly after this, they began shutting down their stores. Investors like Calder, Kmart, and Jefferson Ward quickly bought them up. A year later, Food Fair left its home front in Philadelphia and closed over 50 more stores. The company gradually sold off its stores until 1993, when the remaining ones were sold to Fleming. It's a good time to say so long to Food Fair. Number 7. Alpha Beta. When you think of self-service grocery shopping, Alpha Beta readily comes to mind. Before it became a store, it was a marketing concept. Brothers Albert and Hugh Gerard revolutionized the shopping industry in the 1910s. They arranged the items in the store alphabetically, making it easy for customers to find what they needed. By 1932, Alpha Beta had expanded into 2 supermarkets, and the chain kept growing. Soon, Alpha Beta's cowboy mascot became popular in California. Fast forward to 1961, when they had over 100 stores. Sadly, Alpha Beta couldn't manage this growth alone. It eventually merged with Ralph's chain, forcing the Alpha Beta name to disappear. Interestingly, the Gerard brothers' religious beliefs meant Alpha Beta stores didn't sell alcohol. But then, that's not why their store vanished. Yucaipa Companies bought Ralph's Grocery Company and rebranded all its stores, marking the end of an era. Number 6. Jitney Jungle. Years ago, a nickel could get you groceries at Jitney Jungle, but not anymore. In 1919, 3 local families in Mississippi founded Jitney Jungle. This grocery store was named for its cheap prices. Jitney means a nickel, and the jungle stands for the jingling nickels of happy customers. The store quickly grew into a dominant chain with 200 grocery, convenience, and liquor stores at its peak. Shoppers in Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi loved Jitney Jungle's unbeatable prices and friendly service, but the good times did not last forever. In 1996, a New York investment firm bought Jitney Jungle for $400 million. Shortly after, the company's chairman retired, and the decline began. By 2000, most of Jitney Jungle's locations had been converted into Winn-Dixie stores. Today, there are no Jitney Jungle stores left. Number 5. Grand Union. If you lived in Pennsylvania in the 1900s, you've probably heard of Grand Union. Founded in 1872 by the Jones Brothers Tea Company, Grand Union started as a tea company, but quickly expanded to sell spices, flavoring extracts, and coffee. The small shop grew into a mighty chain with over 500 stores across Vermont, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and of course, Pennsylvania. Grand Union was a part of everyday life for many families. Walking down its aisle and finding everything you need was the best part about shopping here. Sadly, the year 1995 came with financial troubles, and Grand Union couldn't keep up. Over the years, the company filed for bankruptcy several times until all of its stores disappeared. But in 2022, Grand Union relaunched in New York and Vermont. Still, we know it can never be the same. Number 4. Dominic's Finer Foods. It was impossible to be in Chicago and not shop at Dominic's. This grocery store started in 1918 in a tiny 1,000-square-foot shop on the northwest side of the city. Founder Dominic DiMatteo was a perfectionist, so he hand-selected the store's products from local markets daily. As the word spread across the city, the store made more profit, leading them to have a larger 14,000-square-foot location. Dominic's Finer Foods was a go-to for daily needs, including photo developmental services and video rentals. It became a cherished part of Chicago life. It grew independently to 18 locations before Fisher Foods bought it and helped it expand to 70 stores. Thrilled by the success, the DiMatteo family repurchased their company. Sadly, legal issues didn't allow Dominic's to run for long. Safeway purchased the stores and began selling it off in 2013. Today, we're left with only memories of a once bubbling aisle. Number 3. Delshamps. Delshamps was once the pride of Mobile, Alabama. Brothers Alfred and Ollie Delshamps opened their first grocery store in the 1920s. The business quickly won the hearts of many thanks to its self-service format. By 1929, there were 6 Delshamps stores in Mobile, and by the end of the century, they were expanded to the south. The store was so influential that the original Delshamps store was named a historical site in 1996. In July 1997, Delshamps decided it was time for a change, and Jitney Jungle purchased it for $213 million. Unfortunately, this new chapter was short-lived as Jitney Jungle filed for bankruptcy in 1999. Do you miss shopping at Delshamps? Number 2. Kohl's. Kohl's food stores once rivaled the biggest supermarket chains in the US. Maxwell Kohl, a Polish immigrant, founded this grocery store in 1946. It started as a small grocery store in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. However, this store was so successful that by 1962, it grew into a department store selling groceries and general merchandise. This concept helped Kohl's grow into a popular chain of department stores. Kohl's was special because it had a community-focused approach and diverse products. Customers loved the convenience of finding everything they needed under one roof, from clothing to fresh produce and household items. The friendly service and local feel were also a plus. Despite its popularity, Kohl's food stores faced tough competition and financial challenges. In the 1980s, the company embarked on a closing spree of its stores to focus on its department stores. Rising operational costs and changing consumer habits made it impossible for them to make profits. Eventually, they gave in, and all of its stores were closed. Today, Kohl's grocery stores are a nostalgic part of our history. Number 1. Cash and Carry. Cash and Carry was no ordinary grocery store. It had convenient locations with low prices. Founded in 1962 by the Bruno family in Plant City, Florida, it grew from nothing into a popular chain. Before everyone realized it, it expanded throughout Florida and offered a wide range of products. Customers walked into its friendly atmosphere to shop for everything they wanted with the speed of light. It is believed that if more than 3 people were in the waiting line, Cash and Carry would open up a new checkout. Unlike other grocery stores, Cash and Carry customers paid with their cash and carried out their groceries. The concept was out of this world. Like other grocery stores on this list, increasing competition from larger supermarket chains edged them out. By 2005, Cash and Carry decided to rebrand its stores to attract new customers. But then, this didn't save the stores. In 2007, all of its stores were either sold or closed. Which of these old grocery stores do you miss the most? Share your memories in the comments below. See you in the next one!